All right, welcome back to Something to Do Parenthetical About Nothing podcast. Forgot my own introduction in the name of my own damn show. I am Shaggy, I am Phil Alitea, and as you can see, I am chilling outside my tent in my new chair. And I have a confession to make. What I thought was a prologue to Prometheus Bound turns out to be its own play in its own right. I was beginning to think like, wow, this is a really fucking long prologue. This feels like a play in its own right. That's because it is. And that play is the first in a lost, a trilogy that is otherwise lost. We don't have the second two of the three plays, but it's called the Suppliant Maidens. And, it's interesting. Sometimes God and Aletheia, my goddess, in fact, Eos, my truest goddess, they have plans for me other than my own. And so that's why sometimes I don't finish these. And sometimes it turns out I'm not even reading the book I think I'm reading. Because the Suppliant Maidens is actually more important because it's about how religion had been practiced in the Mediterranean for, by then, he's trying to say going on 7,000 years or more. And so, I'm gonna continue reading that, and I'm gonna go back, and we're going to recap. Probably, I don't exactly remember where I left off, but I'm going to read what I think is reread from Danaeus's last piece of dialogue, right after the chorus has just prayed for blessings, boons on the city, because the city has just decided to bless them, to help them. And Danaeus is the father of the maidens, I guess. He's their male guardian, and he's an old man. So here we go. Dear children, well and wisely have ye prayed. I bid you now not shudder, though ye hear new and alarming tidings from your sire. From this high place beside the suppliant shrine, the bark of our pursuers I behold, by divers tokens recognized too well. Lo, the spread canvas and the hides that screen the gunwale. Lo, the prow with painted eyes that seem her onward pathway to descry. The boat with the painted eyes is what Mycenaean boats look like. Egyptian boats may have done that too. That was a thing in prehistory. That seem her onward pathway to descry, heeding too well the rudder at the stern that rules her, coming for no friendly end. And look, the seamen, all too plain their race, their dark limbs gleam from out their snow-white garb. Plain, too, the other barks, a fleet that comes all swift to aid the purpose of the first, that now, with furled sail and with pulse of oars, which smite the wave together, comes a land. But ye, be calm and, schooled not scared by fear, confront this chance, be mindful of your trust and these protecting gods, and I will hence, and champions, who shall plead your cause aright, will bring unto your side. There, come perchance heralds or envoys, eager to lay hand and drag you captive hence. Yet, fear them not. Fail or foiled shall they be, yet well it were for you, if ere with aid I come, I tarry long, not by one step this sanctuary to leave. Farewell, fear not, soon shall the hour be born, when he that scorns the gods shall rue his scorn. So basically what he's saying, I'm going to go get help, do not leave from here. And the chorus, they sing, Ah, but I shudder, father. Ah, even now, even as I speak, the swift-winged ships draw nigh. I shudder, I shiver, I perish with fear. Overseas though I fled, yet naught it avails. My pursuers are near. Children, take heart. They who decreed to aid thy cause will arm for battle. Well, I ween, but desperate is Aegyptus' ravening race, with fight unsated. thou too know'st it well. In their wrath they o'ertake us, the prow is deep dark, in the which they have sped. And dark is the bench, and the crew of the bark. Yea, but a crew at stout they here shall find, and arms well steeled beneath a noonday sun. Ah, yet, O father, leave us not forlorn. Alone a maid is not a strengthless arm. With guile they pursue me, with counsel maligned, and unholy their soul. And as ravens they seize me, unheeding they shrine. Fair will befall us, children, in this chance, if thus in wrath they wrong the gods and you. Alas, nor tridents, nor the sanctity of shrines will drive them, O my sire, from us. Unholy and daring and cursed is their ire, nor own they control of the gods, but like jackals they glut their desire. Aye, but come, we'll flee, jackal, that's a quote, saith the saw, nor can the flax plant overbear the corn. Lustful, accursed, monstrous is their will, as of beasts ravening. Where we of their power, that's beware, we, the two of them, of their, or I guess the women of them of their power. That is, aware are we of their power, basically. Look you, not swiftly puts a fleet to sea, nor swiftly to its moorings. Look, it is or ere. The saving cables to the shore are borne, and long or ere the steersmen cry. The good ship swings at anchor, that's a quote, all is well. Longest of all, the task to come a land, where haven there is none, when sunset fades in night. To pilot wise, the adage saith, night is a day of wakefulness and pain. Therefore no force of weaponed men, as yet scatheless, can come ashore before the bank, lie at her anchorage securely moored. Bethink thee therefore, not in panic leave the shrine of gods whose succor thou hast won. I go for aid. Men shall not blame me long, old, but with youth at heart and on my tongue. Exit, Danaus. Then the chorus. O land of hill and dale, O holy land, what shall befall us? Whither shall we flee from Appian land to some dark lair of earth? Oh, would that in vapor of smoke I might arise to the clouds of the sky, that at dust which flits up without wings I might pass and evanish and die. I dare not abide, my heart yearns eager to fly, and dark is the cast of my thought, I shudder and tremble for fear. My father looked forth and beheld, I die of the sight that draws near, and for me be the strangling cord, the halter made ready by fate, before to my body draws nigh the man of my horror and hate. Nay, ere I will own him as Lord, as handmaid to go Hades I go, and oh, that aloft in the sky, where the dark clouds are frozen to snow, of refuge for me might be found, or a mountain top smooth and too high for the foot of the goat, where the vulture sits lonely, and none may descry. The pinnacle veiled in the cloud, the highest and sheerest of all, ear to wedlock that rendeth my heart, and love that is loveless, I fall. Yea, a prey to the dogs and the birds of the mount will I give me to be, from wailing and curse and pollution. It is death, only death sets me free. Let death come upon me before to the ravisher's bed I am thrust. What champion, what saviour, but death can I find, or what refuge from lust? I will utter my shriek of entreaty, a prayer that shrills up to the sky, that calleth the gods to compassion, a tuneful, a pitiful cry that is loud to invoke the releaser. O Father, look down on the fight, look down in thy wrath on the wronger with eyes that are eager for right. Zeus, though thou art Lord of the world, whose kingdom is strong over all, have mercy on us. At thine altar for refuge and safety we call, for the race of Aegyptus is fierce, with greed and with malice afire. They cry as the questing hounds, they sweep with the speed of desire. But thine is the balance of fate, thou rulest the wavering scale, and without thee no mortal emprise shall have strength to achieve or prevail. Alack! Alack! The ravisher, he leaps from boat to beach, he draweth near. Away, thou plunderer accursed! Death seize thee first. Or ere thou touch me, off! God, hear our cry, our maiden agony! Ah! Ah, the touch, the prelude of my shame! Alas, my maiden fame! O sister, sister, to the altar cling, for he that seizeth me, grim is his wrath, and stern by land as on sea. Guard us, O king! Now we got the herald of Aegyptus enters the scene. Hence to my barge, step swiftly, tarry not. Alack, he rends my hair, oh wound on wound. You understand what's happening. Help, my lopped head will fall, my blood gushes o'er the ground. Aboard, ye cursed, with a new curse, go. Would God that on the wandering brine thou and this braggart tongue of thine had sunk beneath the main, thy mast and planks made fast in vain. Thee would I drive aboard once more, a slayer and a dastard, from the shore. Be still, thou vain, be demented soul, my force thy craving shall control. Away, aboard, what clingest to the shrine? Away, this city's gods I hold not for divine. Aid me, ye gods, that never, never I may again behold the mighty, the life-giving river Nilus, the quickener of field and fold. Alack, O sire, unto the shrine I cling, shrine of this land, from which mine ancient line did spring. Shrine, shrines, forsooth, the ship be shrine. Aboard, perforce, and will ye nil ye go, or e'er, or ere, from hands of mine, ye suffer torments worse, and blow on blow. Alack! God grant those hands may strave in vain with the salt-streaming wave, when gainst the wind-blown blasts thy bark shall strain to round Sarpedon's cape, the sandbake's treacherous grave. Shrill ye and shriek unto what gods ye may, ye shall not leap from out Aegyptus' bark. How bitterly soe'er ye wail your woe. Alack, alack, my wrong! Stern is thy voice, thy haunting loud and strong. Thy sire, thy mighty Nilus, drive thee hence, turning to death and doom thy greedy violence. Swift to the vessel of the double prow, go quickly, let none linger, lest this land ruthless will hail you by your tresses hence. Alack, O father! Tresses are hair. Like, you understand what's going on. I probably am not actually allowed to be reading this scene for YouTube, but you understand that this is a poem performed for a contemporary audience for whom this was a very real thing that could happen. This could happen, like, all the time. Another book that I read, I'll break away so that if it's a little intense for you, you don't have to think about this guy trying to take her back to Egypt by her hair. But that was a normal thing. There's a book that I've read before for YouTube or my Patreon called, I know I read it for what's that called? X, Twitter. I might have not read it for Patreon. I may have not read it for YouTube either, but it's called Metamorphoses. It's by Antoninus Liberalis, and it's either contemporary to or inspired by and critical of Ovid. Ovid's Metamorphoses is an extremely foundational work in our understanding of the Greek myths, but he was a Roman writer writing way later than, for example, Aeschylus here writing, or Hesiod, or Homer, for example, many centuries, like almost 1,000 years, maybe exactly 1,000 years after Homer and Hesiod. And so anyway, in that story, a woman who is an extremely powerful witch is actually thrown off a mountain by a hero because she was seducing beautiful homosexual boys, a kind of scaring them straight with a serpent monster that's actually a dragoness. Yeah, that was a thing. And the just thing in that situation was to free the homosexual bottoms from this dragoness. Interesting how sexual politics come full circle very frequently. And what's the other story I was thinking of that this very much reminds me of from back then? I probably started to say, and then I went and forgot, because this chair puts my legs to sleep very rapidly, and this, I need to take the insoles out of the bottom of these shoes. It's probably about time to get new ones, and they're probably starting to smell to other people. But anyway, there you go. You've had a break. Alack, O Father, from the shrine not aid but agony is mine. As a spider he creeps and he clutches his prey and he hales me away. A spectre of darkness, alas and alas, well a day. O earth, my mother, O Zeus, thou king of the earth and her child, turn back, we pray thee, from us his clamor and threatenings wild. Peace, I fear not this country's deities. They fostered not my childhood nor mine age. Like a snake that is human, he comes, he shudders and crawls to my side. As an adder that biteth the foot, he clutch on my flesh doth abide. O earth, O my mother, O Zeus, thou king of the earth and her child, turn back, we pray thee, from us his clamor and threatenings wild. Swift each unto the ship, repine no more, or my hand shall not spare to rend your robe. O chiefs, O leaders, aid me, or I yield. Peace, if ye have not ears to hear my words, lo, by these tresses must I hale you hence. Undone are we, O king, all hope is gone. I, king, kings enow ye shall behold anon. Aegyptus' sons ye shall not want for kings. And now the king of Argos steps onto stage. Sirrah, what dost thou? In what arrogance darest thou thus insult Pelasgia's realm? Deemest thou this a woman-hearted town? Thou art too full of thy barbarian scorn for us of Grecian blood, and erring thus thou dost bewray thyself a fool in all. Say thou wherein thy deeds transgress my right. That's my deeds transgress my right. First, that thou placed a stranger's part amiss, wherein I do but search and claim mine own, says the herald of Aegyptus. If you're having trouble with my voices, the king of Argos replies, to whom of our guest champions hast appealed? To Hermes, herald's champion, lord of search. Yea, to a god, yet dost thou wrong the gods. The gods that rule by Nilus I revere. Here I aright, our Argive gods are not. I guess I could probably do it like this, this is the herald of Aegyptus. The prey is mine, unless force rend it from me. And then the king of Argos. At thine own peril touch them, where and soon. I hear thy speech, no hospitable word. I am no host for sacrilegious hands. I will go to tell this to Aegyptus' sons. Tell it, my pride will ponder not thy word. That's actually probably going to make you dizzy. Yet that I have my message clear to say, for it behoves that herald's words be clear. Oh, here we go. Be they ill or good, how art thou named? By whom despoiled of this sister band? Of maidens pass I homeward, speak and say, for lo, henceforth in Ares' court we stand. No pledge of silver now can bring the cause to issue. Ere this thing end, there must be corpse piled on corpse, and many lives gasped forth. And the king of the king of Argos replies, what skills it that I tell my name to thee? Thou and thy mate shall learn it ere the end. Know that if words... Oh, wait, no, sorry, my bad. That's still the king of Argos, so... Thou and thy mate shall learn it ere the end. Know that if words unstained by violence can change these maidens' choice, then mayest thou, with full consent of theirs, conduct them hence. But thus the city with one voice ordained, no force shall bear away the maiden band. That's a quote. Firmly this word upon the temple wall is by a rivet clenched, and shall abide, not upon wax inscribed indelible, nor upon parchment sealed and stored away. Lo, thou hast heard our free mouths speak their will. Out from our presence, tarry not, but go. And then the herald of Aegyptus. Methinks we stand on some new edge of war. Be strength and triumph on the young men's side. Nay, but here also shall ye find young men, unsodden with the juices oozed from grain. That means beer. And then the herald of Egypt leaves, actually, from the scene after he says that. And then the king of Argos continues. Yeah, okay. The author is, the translator is explaining, I decided to read that. I haven't been reading all of the footnotes, but I decided to read that one because I wondered if maybe I should explain what that means. Because when he says, you won't find us a people despoiled by, how does he say it? Juices oozed from the grain. He's talking about beer. And basically what he's saying is that wine makes them better warriors than beer makes the Egyptians. Effectively what he's saying is that the beer makes them slow and fat and lazy, and that wine doesn't make you slow and fat and lazy. And we don't talk about wine bellies, but we most certainly talk about beer bellies. And you never see low calorie or, light wine, but you most certainly see low-calorie beer. So you can kind of understand the insult. You don't need a scholar to explain the insult. And that scholars need the insult explained to them is why I have to be the one to do this. Do you understand? Okay, so the herald of Egypt, he leaves, and the king of Argos continues. But ye, O maids, with your attendants true, pass hence with trust into the fenced town, ringed with a wide confine of guarding towers. Therein are many dwellings for such guests as the state honors. There myself am housed, within a palace neither scant nor strait. There dwell ye, if ye will to lodge at ease, in halls well thronged. Yet, if your soul suffer, tarry secluded in a separate home. Do you hear the bird singing with me? That's a song that the bird's doing. That's not communication. Tarry secluded in a separate home. Choose ye and cull from these our proffered gifts, whiche'er is best and sweetest to your will. And I and all these citizens whose vote stands thus decreed will your protectors be. Look not to find elsewhere more loyal guard. And the chorus responds, O godlike chief, God grant my prayer, fair blessings on thy proffers fair, Lord of Pelagia's race. The proffers are, the treasury.
Yet of thy grace unto our side sent thou the man of courage tried, of counsel deep and prudent thought, be Danaus to his children brought. For his it is to guide us well and warn where it behooves to dwell. What place shall guard and shelter us from malice and tongues slanderous? Swift always are the lips of blame a stranger made to defame, but fortune give us grace. The king of Argos responds, a stainless fame, a welcome kind, from all this people shall ye find. Dwell therefore, damsels, loved of us, within our walls, as Danaus allots to each in order due her dower of attendance true. Danaus returns, I thanks my children unto Argos Khan, and to this folk as to Olympian. Gods gives offerings, meat of sacrifice and wine, for saviors are they in good sooth to you. From me they heard, and bitter was their wrath, how those your kinsmen strove to work you wrong, and how of us were thwarted. Then to me this company of spearmen did they grant, that honored I might walk, nor unaware die by some secret thrust, and on this land bring down the curse of death that dieth not. Such boons they gave me, it behooves me pay a deeper reverence from a soul sincere. Ye to the many words of wariness spoken by your father, add this word, that tried by time our unknown company be held for honest. Over swift are tongues to slander strangers, over light is speech to bring pollution on a stranger's name. Therefore I read you, bringing no shame on me, now when man's eye beholds your maiden prime. Lovely is beauty's ripening harvest field, but ill to guard and men and beast I wot, and birds and creeping things make prey of it. And when the fruit is ripe for love, the voice of Aphrodite bruiteth it brought. The while she guards the yet unripened growth, on the fair richness of a maiden's bloom, each passer looks o'ercome with strong desire, with eyes that waft the wistful dart of love. Then be not such our hap, whose livelong toil did make our pinnacle plough the mighty main, nor bring we shame upon ourselves and joy unto my foes. Behold, a twofold home, one of the king's and one of the people's gift. Unbrought, 'tis yours to hold, a gracious boon. Go, but remember ye your sire's behest, and hold your life less dear than chastity. Okay, so I just want to say something real quick. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if everybody knows this. I didn't know this for a very long time. But for example, at Shakespeare's theater, I don't remember what it's called. The Globe. I do know what it's called. At the Globe, the standing room, like where most people went to see the theater, actually couldn't see the stage. They were only there to listen. If they were there to listen at all, it was actually a very loud place. You didn't really try to be quiet if you were in the pit. Effectively, it was a metal show, right? Okay, sorry. And then the chorus responds, the priestesses respond. The gods above grant that all else be well, but fear not thou, O sire, lest aught befall of ill until our ripened maidenhood. So long as heaven have no new ill devised, from its chaste path my spirit shall not swerve. And then I don't know exactly what the semi-chorus is, but they're the next three voices to sing here, so just bear with me on that one. Pass and adore ye, the blessed, the gods of the city who dwell around Erasinus, the gush of the swift, immemorial tide. Chant ye, O maidens, aloud let the praise of Pelasgia swell. Hymn we no longer the shores where Nilus to ocean doth glide. Sing we the bounteous streams that ripple and gush through the city. Quickening flow they and fertile, the soft new life of the plain. Continuing with the semi-chorus. Artemis, maiden most pure, look on us with grace and with pity. Save us from forced embraces. Such love hath no crown, but a pain. Yet not in scorn we chant, but in honor of Aphrodite. She truly and Hera alone have power with Zeus and control. Holy the deeds of her right. Her craft is secret and mighty, and high is her honor on earth, and subtle her sway of the soul. And this, this is kind of a prayer to all the gods who might be watching this show and be annoyed. Yea, and her child is desire, in the train of his mother he goeth. Yea, and persuasion soft lip, whom none can deny or repel. Persuasion is, the Greek word is peto or patho. Peto is a character in my work, not Rob Longshore. Hey, Mr. S, Patreon subscriber, the scene that I showed you, that vision that I had, yeah, that was of the goddess Persuasion, Peto, thus here named. Yea, and persuasion soft-lipped, whom none can deny or repel. Cometh Harmonia, too, on whom Aphrodite bestoweth the whispering parley, the paths of the rapture that lovers love well. Ah, but I tremble and quake, lest again they should sail to reclaim, alas, for the sorrow to come, the blood, and the carnage of war. Ah, by whose will was it done that o'er the wide ocean they came, guided by favoring winds and wafted by sail and by oar? Peace, for what fate hath ordained will surely not tarry but come. Wide is the counsel of Zeus, by no man escaped or withstood. Only I pray that whate'er in the end of his wedlock he doom, we as many as maiden of old may win from the ill to the good. Continuing with the semi-chorus. Great Zeus, this wedlock turn from me from the kinsman, bridegroom guard. Come what come may, 'tis fate's decree, soft is thy word, the doom is hard. Thou know'st not what the fates provide? How should I scan Zeus' mighty will, the depth of counsel undescried? Pray thou no word of omen ill, what timely warning wouldst thou teach? Beware, nor slight the gods in speech. Zeus, hold from my body the wedlock detested, the bridegroom abhorred. It was thou did release mine ancestress Io from sorrow, thine healing it was that restored. The touch of thine hand gave her peace. And then one last semi-chorus. Be thy will for the cause of the maidens. Of two ills the lesser I pray, the exile that leaveth me pure. May thy justice have heed to my cause, my prayers to thy mercy find way, for the hands of thy saving are sure. And there you go. That's the Suppliant Maidens concluded. So part 2, and yeah, now you kind of know what a 6th century Greek religious ceremony was like. So instead of a boring ass church service, they watched this. So just imagine if maybe you respected movie theaters just a little bit more. Or maybe if you respected TikTokers just a touch more. Imagine what it would do for you if you treated being in the audience as participating in something religious and magical.